In the heart of a vibrant city, there lived a man named Haru. From a young age, Haru had been driven by ambition. He worked tirelessly to achieve success, always striving for more. Yet despite his accomplishments, he felt a growing emptiness inside. No matter how much he achieved, there was always a sense of restlessness, as if something crucial was missing. Haru's mind was constantly racing, plans, worries, questions about his future. Every day he rushed from one task to another, always feeling that he wasn't doing enough, wasn't becoming enough. He longed for a sense of clarity, a direction that would make him feel whole. But instead, life seemed like a maze of endless choices, and he was lost in the middle of it. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day, Haru heard about a Zen monk who lived in a small temple on the outskirts of the city. The monk was known for his profound wisdom, and many people who felt lost or uncertain sought his guidance. Desperate for answers, Haru decided to visit the monk, hoping to find the peace that had eluded him for so long. The next morning, Haru set out on the journey to the temple. The road was long, winding through the quieter parts of the city and into the hills beyond. As he walked, he couldn't help but notice the contrast between the chaotic city behind him and the tranquil nature ahead. The further he traveled, the quieter the world seemed to become, and with it, the noise in his mind began to settle. When he finally arrived at the temple, the sun was beginning to set, casting a warm, golden light over the ancient stone structure. The air was filled with the soft rustle of leaves, and there was a profound stillness that seemed to seep into his very bones. Haru found the monk sitting on the temple steps, calmly watching the horizon as the day slipped into evening. "Master," Haru said, bowing deeply, "I have come seeking guidance. I am restless and uncertain. No matter how hard I try, I cannot find peace. My mind is always filled with questions, and I do not know which path to follow in life. How can I find the answers I seek?" The monk listened quietly, his face serene, and then motioned for Haru to sit beside him. After a long pause, the monk spoke, his voice gentle yet clear. "Haru," he began, "look at that road before us." Haru glanced at the dirt path that led away from the temple, winding through the hills and disappearing into the distance. "I see it, Master," Haru replied. "Let us walk it together," the monk said, rising slowly to his feet. Haru, curious but willing to follow, stood up and joined the monk on the path. They began walking in silence, the gravel crunching softly under their feet. The road was narrow, bordered by tall trees that swayed gently in the breeze. As they walked, Haru noticed the simple beauty of his surroundings, the way the light filtered through the leaves, the sound of birds singing in the distance, the peaceful rhythm of their footsteps. The further they walked, the more Haru's mind began to quiet, and with that silence came a sense of calm he hadn't felt in a long time. After a while, they reached a fork in the road. One path led up a steep hill, while the other descended into a shaded valley. Haru stopped, unsure of which way to go. "Master," he asked, "which path should we take?" The monk smiled softly. "Which path do you think we should take?" Haru hesitated. "I don't know," he admitted. "What if I choose the wrong path? What if the road I take leads to a dead end? Or worse, takes me further away from where I'm supposed to be?" The monk chuckled lightly, his eyes twinkling with wisdom. "Haru, life is not about choosing the perfect path. It's about how you walk the path you're on. There is no wrong road if you walk it with awareness and trust in yourself. Every path has its challenges and its rewards. What matters is not where the road takes you, but how you move through it." "But how do I know if I'm on the right path?" Haru asked, his brow furrowed in concern. "How do I know if the choices I'm making are the right ones?" The monk paused, looking up at the sky for a moment before answering. "Haru, your inner voice is like a compass. It doesn't show you the entire journey all at once. It simply guides you, step by step. But you can only hear it when your mind is still. When your thoughts are clouded with fear and doubt, that inner voice becomes drowned out by the noise. If you walk through life with a calm mind, you will hear that voice clearly, and it will guide you. The path you choose will unfold naturally. They continued walking, and as they did, Haru began to understand. The monk was teaching him that peace wasn't something he needed to chase. It was something he could create by quieting his mind and trusting in himself. It wasn't about reaching a specific destination. It was about how he journeyed through life. Eventually, the path led them to the top of a hill where they could see the entire landscape spread out before them. The city in the distance, the hills rolling endlessly into the horizon, and the sky now painted with the soft hues of twilight. Haru stood there for a moment, taking it all in. For the first time, he felt truly at peace, not because he had found the answers to all his questions, but because he had found the stillness within himself to listen. The monk turned to him and said, "Remember, Haru, life is full of many roads. You may not always know where they lead, but if you walk with awareness and trust in your inner voice, every road will be the right one. Your mind is like the sky, vast and limitless. The clouds of doubt may come and go, but the sky remains unchanged. When you quiet your mind, the clouds part, and you can see the way clearly." Haru bowed deeply, filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Master. I understand now. It's not about the path I choose, but how I walk it. I will trust in my inner voice to guide me." The monk nodded, his eyes warm with approval. "Go now, Haru. Walk your path with confidence. The answers you seek are already within you." With those words, Haru began the journey back to the city, feeling lighter than he had in years. As he walked, he no longer worried about which path to take or whether his choices were right or wrong. He knew that as long as he trusted his inner voice and moved through life with calm awareness, he would always find his way. And so, Haru stepped forward, not into the unknown, but into the certainty that his own wisdom would guide him every step of the way.